Hello, this is Emily Zipprich, and this is my chapter on autism. Autism is one of the most talked about syndromes in today's society due to the fact that roughly 1 in 88 children are diagnosed today, and that number may be incorrect in 2015 due to more recent diagnoses and studies, considering that the Solomon book was published in 2012. Autism affects almost every aspect of behavior, including sensory experiences, motor function, balance, body awareness, and consciousness. A host of symptoms may accompany autism spectrum disorder, including sensitivity to sound, light, or touch, flapping, or other self-stimulating behavior, self-injurious behavior such as biting, scratching, picking, or headbanging, obsessive behaviors or repetitive behaviors such as echolalia when speaking, and children with autism don't always get sarcasm, irony, or metaphors. The chapter discussed how many doctors and parents try a variety of therapies and treatments with children with autism that unfortunately don't always work or are inconsistent from child to child, or even with the same child, but from day to day. Things like animal therapy, music therapy, sensory rooms, including swings and other tactile objects to comfort them. Also, things like speech therapy, occupational and physical therapy to work with their symptoms happen in schools. Furthermore, parents often try extreme things like hyperbolic chambers, oxygen therapy, and I even saw a picture when I was looking for pictures for this presentation about robot therapy. Also, the book discussed possible therapies like diet regulations, including excluding glutens and caseins. Parents also sometimes try vitamins and other natural or holistic therapies such as oil treatments. Oftentimes, parents and educators work with nonverbal children, and they like to use something called an FC device, or a facilitated communication device, where children can point to pictures that will help them communicate with others their feelings, desires, and other things that's going on with them. I think the biggest takeaway for me from this chapter was how far autism research and knowledge has come in the last decade or 2 decades, but how far it still has to go. In the book, Solomon describes the debate about what causes autism, and that's all over the news and other things, other research and stuff like that, and how one group believes that the increased number of vaccinations children receive today has caused the rate of diagnosis in autism to dramatically increase over the last 30 years. On the other hand, there are those who believe that the rate of autism has gone up because education and understanding autism has increased, as well as criteria for what causes autism or how people are diagnosed with autism has gone up. Solomon has included both sides in his book, but I feel like he shows or tends to be more on the side of the scientific research that's been done to discredit the vaccine causation. However, researchers still can't conclusively pinpoint a specific cause, whether genetically, environmentally, or a combination of multiple factors. And parents with children of autism, for me in this chapter, their stories and their struggles were just so touching. And that was another takeaway for me from this chapter. All of the stories were just, describing the deep love and devotion to their children, but also the utter devastation, confusion, and sorrow that comes along with, accepting their children's diagnosis and trying to give them a, quote, normal life. Many parents have had hard times when their children first begin to show signs of autism, because often they were walking, talking, and interacting like a typical child. However, when they started to show signs that something's wrong, it became really rough for many to cope with. Some of the stories in the book describe parental substance abuse due to their children's autism diagnosis, breaking up of the families, a financial ruin to get help for the children, and even measures as dramatic as parents killing their autistic children to spare pain and suffering both on the part of the child and, I would think, the parent. The love of these parents described in this chapter was overwhelming, and I would recommend anyone who wants more information about autism to read this section about those who live with it.